Dear Danielle, I just don't understand it. My home's not selling. All of my neighbors sold in the past and they sold quickly and they had multiple offers.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Hey everyone, it's Danielle Taylor with Keller Williams Realty here on the beautiful Outer Banks. And today I wanted to talk to my sellers out there and talk a little bit about what we're seeing. I mean, the truth is we haven't had to work through this question in a while, but with a shifting market that includes longer days on market, more properties in inventory, more properties going with price reductions, these things are coming up. So I think it's really important to do a little refresher and talk about what do we do and how do we figure out what part of our strategy might need a little tweaking. So assuming that you're working with a professional, you've likely implemented a proper 3-point strategy that includes offering the best product, price, and marketing for your property. As a side note, if you don't have those things or you don't know what they are, you want to know how to work through those, please reach out to us. That we have a strong plan that works through all of those. But regardless, assuming you're working with a professional and you have those, how do we figure out which one of those pieces isn't working? Because they all work together. So the best way to do that is to ask ourselves some questions. So the first question I'd like you to ask yourself is, am I getting a lot of showings, but no offers? Okay, lots of showings, so I'm getting the activity, but I'm not getting any offers. So if that's the case, sometimes what that means is we're getting the activity, so our marketing's working, we're reaching people, they like what they see, then they're not offering. And oftentimes that comes down to price. So we may need to go back and take a look at our pricing strategy and see if maybe an adjustment is in order, okay? So that's one question. The other question you can ask yourself is, well, what if I'm not getting any activity at all? And that can be for two reasons. One could be there may be something off with the marketing strategy. Maybe we need to reshoot things. Maybe we're not creating the right story. Maybe we're not projecting what we want to attract our buyer. It can also be because of price. The reality is the market has been so strong and so active that buyers are not going to go after a property that they feel is overpriced unless, number one, it sat for a long time, or number two, it eventually does a price reduction. They feel like a seller sets a price and they're not gonna really come off it, especially in early days, so they're just not even gonna bother. So that's one thing it could be. The third thing you can look at is what kind of feedback have we been getting? So if we have had some showings and we've been getting some feedback, are there changes to the product, which is the home, are there changes to the product that we can make that might address some of those issues that the buyers are bringing to our attention? So that could be one thing. And then the last thing is really make sure you're diving in with your professional about what's happening with the competition. I mean, it's one of those how would I say it? Is it just me? Or is it all of us? And that will help us decide how aggressively we want to address things. So take a look at what's happening around you. If you determine that it is down to price and that probably a price adjustment is going to be what serves you best, before you do it, make sure you take a deep dive into your neighborhood to understand what's the average days on market to see where you fall. It may simply be that your area takes a little bit longer to sell. So we don't want to do a preemptive price reduction necessarily if we're falling within the norms, unless your goals want you to move on quicker, okay? So that's one thing. Overall right now for the Outer Banks, and this is for single family residential, all of Dare County and all of Corolla, we're sitting at about 71 days on market. But that varies drastically by neighborhood. So I'm really doing a deep dive for my clients when it comes to specific areas. So for our under contract properties, so for those properties that are currently under contract, the average days on market for those is 90. Okay, so that's 90. And once those properties that needed to did a price drop, we're seeing those go under contract in about another 25 days, okay? So once they found the right price, it's taking about 25 days, and that average price drop overall is about 8%. Okay, so there's just some metrics. Again, you know me, I'm a data girl. So I'm gonna try to blend in the metrics and the data so we can make the best decisions. Navigating a shifting market can be really tricky. And staying on top of all pieces of your strategy and changing courses if necessary is really key to getting your house sold at the best possible price in the best possible time frame. We now really need to make sure that you're partnering with a true professional so we can make sure you get your home sold. So as always, please reach out with questions, comments, concerns. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything, and make sure you've got the right strategy in place. I hope you have a great day.